the left and the right side of our invoice, the left and the right side of our services, the left and the right side of what we do. Maybe it's left and then right. But you understand what I'm saying. There are two legs to building a car. There are two foundations. There are two pillars. There are two things that are key to building a car. There are two things that are necessary when choosing the right shop. Because let's face it, every shop is not for you. It's not a matter of them being good, them not being good. It's not a matter of them being talented or them not being talented. It's about these two things that I'm going to talk about here briefly. It's about those things aligning with your financial abilities, those things aligning with your sensibility, those things aligning with your priorities. And so that's what I want to talk about. Now, my daughter's holding this camera today, little Anna. Shout out to Anna. So here's what happened. Sometimes, every year I try to take my kids at least on one international trip. I've been doing that the last 3 or 4 years or however long it's been. But that's what I like to do. I like, come on, y'all, let's go. And I just do that. That's just what I seek to put on my schedule. So if you ever been on an international trip or any plane, really, when you walk through that door, some people go to the left and some people go to the right. My daughter, every time she get on the plane, Daddy, which way do I go? I said, baby, you go to the right. Go to the right. So then she take 2 steps. Daddy, where we sit? Baby, you got to keep walking. What I'm getting at is we're all going to the same location. It's not about the people in the front are not going to get there any safer than me. It's not about that. And so when I share what I bring to the table, it's not that I'm just so much better than everybody else. It's not about that. It's about what I offer aligns with a certain group of people. What they offer aligns with a different group of people. You have to find a builder that aligns with you. So we go on these planes over here to the left. Megan's real expensive over there. And the way I budget my trips with my kids, my wife and all that, man, we got to sit over here. It fits my sensibilities. I just want to sit over there. But I don't want to be the last seat either. So you got to kind of put it in perspective. Well, it's the same thing when you're choosing a shop. You have to make sure this aligns with you because you can always go somewhere else. There are tons of places, especially if you're in this Houston, Texas market, or if you're in the Texas market, you're in that Dallas market, you're in that San Antonio market, you're in that Austin market. If you're somewhere like that, what you'll find is there's another option. There's a choice. Now, do I believe I'm the best? I mean, absolutely. But let me share with you these 2 pillars. One is called shop rate. And one is called the type of parts. Is this a premium parts provider? Is this an entry-level part provider? Is this a good part provider? There's a level. There's good, there's better, and there's what? And there's best. And so you have to find you someone on the part side who offers a good product. You don't want anybody who offers a bad product. So you want a good product. But then there's some people that want a product that's a little bit better. They don't want the top, they don't want the bottom, they want the mid. And then there's some individuals who say, I just want the best. I'm either bring you my best, I'm not going to mess with it. So you have to, because these are different price points. I'm going to say from the bottom to the mid, from good to better, it might only be a 15 or 20% increase. But from good to best, man, it might be a 60% increase in price. Just a very, you have to understand that is going to ultimately dictate the end result of your car. So company A painted your car, company B painted your car, company C painted your car. Let's say the paint on these cars were exactly the same. They're not going to be the same price point because one used some no-name product brand, but we hear that it's good. Someone else said, we're going to use PPG, but I'm going to use Shopline. See, that's a little bit better. And then someone like myself says, I'm going to use DBC, or Global or something like that, or Vibrancy. So then that person says, I'm just going to give you the best. So there's going to be a different price point there. So you want to determine what type of product provider does your vendor provide. So that's gonna separate the men from the boys right there, okay? The second thing I want you to look at that is very important, equally important, and individuals struggle over here. See, I find individuals are willing to pay for their parts. Well, I'll buy the parts. How about a part? It's like you have a top carpenter who's doing work at your home, and they're doing this wonderful remodeling. You're like, I'm willing to pay for all the parts, but I'm just not willing to pay you to work. And I want you to work for me. It doesn't work like that. You have to pay your craftsmen. And craftsmen at the high end of the margin, they charge like the high end of the margin. So then, so over here, I'm going to give you three sides. There's a good, there's a better, and there's a best. I'm going to use the Texas market for an example because I understand that market. The good ones at the Texas market, they're probably going to start about $65 an hour. You know, I'm not saying there's not a great one out there, a good one out there for $50 an hour. I mean, I'm not saying there isn't. There may be, and I'll tell you, but you're probably going to find that that's an owner operator that has no staff. So he or she says, hey, I'm going to charge $50 for my time. So you may find that. But your high-end shops, they can't afford to do that because they're paying technicians $40 and $45 an hour. Some of them are paying $50 an hour and $35 an hour and $33 an hour. There's no way you're gonna have a shop rate for $50. You can't do it. Now, just something business 101. You know, you can't give away a third of your labor. That's just the way it works. Harvard Business School teach you that. You can't give away a third of your labor. So therefore, if you charge $40 an hour, you want top talent, and $40 ain't a lot. If you charge $40 an hour, your shop rate almost have to be $120 because you're paying your technician $40 an hour. So if you're paying your technician $40 an hour, you want that to be no more than a third, then you have to have a shop rate somewhere around $120. It's just simple mathematics to make this business side works. So what I'm going to show you is on the low end side, it's going to be somewhere between $65 and $75, or a wider margin will be between $50 and $70. Those, you can find some good shops there. The difference between those shops and the other shops I'll tell you about in a moment is oftentimes it's going to be substandard facilities. Oftentimes they're going to have antiquated equipment. And the last one that's very, very important, they just don't have a staff pool. So it's normally an owner operator with a little helper, and maybe his wife does the books. You know, it's a 1 to 2, 3 person operation, and that's why it takes forever to get your car out. So then you start climbing the ladder. Now you're going to see a little bit better facilities. You're going to see a little bit more staff, and you're probably going to see a little bit better product provider. What you're going to find on that level, that's going to be between $75 and $90 an hour. That's what you're going to find, and they're going to be a little bit better than the $50 to $70 an hour. All things being equal, they're going to bring some things to the table that side is not going to bring to the table. Well, now let's go to the big boys. Let's go to the high end. Let's go to the NFL. Let's go to the big time club. What you're going to find is kind of like going to a fine dining restaurant. There is no kids menu. You know, when you go to a real nice restaurant, you know, I don't care where you are, especially when we travel, sometimes they ain't got no kids menu. They don't have a kid. My daughter holding the camera, so I hope it help y'all. But there is no kids menu. They better order over there, and everything is a la carte. So it's kind of like that at the high-end restoration shops. There are no kid menus. There are many, and by kid menu, I mean there's no repair menu. We don't repair. That's not what we're in business to do. We're in business to return things back to their latent greatness. That's what we do. And so it's about an overhauling. It's about taking a system and making that system new again. It's about restoring that car, modifying that car, letting that car run like it never ran before, paint look like it's never looked before, restoring and eradicating rust from this car, perfect body work, dynamic paint work, tremendous interior work, the chassis like none other, great rims, great tires, great brakes, great suspension, all of that, that's what we live for. So there's no kids menu over here. This is the high-end side of it. So that price point is going to be somewhere between $100 and $125. Somewhere between $100 and $125. And the Texas market is what you're going to have. Now, what's going to start separating our price point? Overhead. All of us are going to have high-end facilities. Some of our facilities are going to be a little bit better than most. And those individuals with the best facilities are going to charge a little bit more. So your facility, ooh, I like this shop. Well, okay, let's pay like you like it. Ooh, I love that. Let's act like you like it. That's just the way that works. Say that, ooh, I like this. You have lots of staff people. Yeah, they all got to be paid. You know, and some of them make 6 figures a year. Some of them make double 6 figures a year. It don't take long. And so all of that comes with it. Wow, I like that you have trucks and trailers and Yeah, all that comes with it. And then equipment. We're going to have some of the finest equipment around. And we're not going to offer good products. We're not going to offer better products. We're going to offer the best products. So we're going to have the best products. So it means we're going to be the most high end on the part side of things. And then when it comes to the labor, we're normally going to be at the high end side. And that's okay, because we're not for everybody. But you have to find the level that fits you. Now, you want to do business with me. I am the high end side on both ends of these coins. But you better know I am the absolute best.